evening, ghosts and ghouls. You're listening to a horrible podcast.
What's up, ghosts and ghouls? It's the one, the only, JT Ripper, and I'm here with
Todd of Thunder.
And today we're changing it up, spooking it up a little bit different, and we're going to be talking about the one of the kings of horror, the novelist himself, Stephen King.
Yep, today we got our top 5 theatrical favorite Stephen King movies and our top 5 miniseries / television movies of Stephen King.
Yeah, we're probably going to talk about, all the other things too, because when I got to looking up, it was harder to rank the movies than it was the miniseries, personally. But it's actually been some really good movies, and it's been some really shitty movies too, honestly. But
well, today we're going to give you our top 5 best of each.
Yeah, let's start off with the miniseries first.
All right. Well, coming in at number 5 on my favorite miniseries from Stephen King is from 1994, and it is The Stand.
I have that at 5 too.
Yep, The Stand is one of these post-apocalyptic... Apocalyptic.
Elliptical?
It's about apocalypse. Yeah, it's about apocalypse and the devil coming down, and
he went to Georgia.
Yeah, and he went to New York and everywhere else on the United States, over the world, took it over, and these group of people have basically have been chosen to kind of take a stand and fight against this thing. But anyway, they've done... I know there's a new Stand miniseries.
Yeah.
But I've always liked the 1994 one. It had tons of people in it, and it's a good take on that kind of apocalyptic story.
Yeah, the end of the world. I mean, when you watch it, it's very reminiscent of the 90s. You're watching something that takes place in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a good show. I had it at number 5. Honestly, it was very few miniseries that I haven't seen. I was very surprised. There was a lot more that I haven't seen. There's newer shows too that surprised me that are out that I need to check out.
Yeah, I figure we get through our list, and then we'll name some other ones.
Yeah.
At least if we've seen it.
Okay.
So coming in at number 4 is from 2011, and it's Bag of Bones.
Yep.
This one has Pierce Brosnan in it, and it's kind of like a haunting type of deal where, if I remember correctly, I think it's his wife or something that had passed on or whatever, and it's almost kind of like the white noise thing where he's getting glimpses and signs or something.
Yeah.
From, I think that's how it is. Now, I own this movie and I watched it a long time ago, this series or this television movie, whatever you want to call it. But I always really enjoyed it. Although I've only watched it once, because with these miniseries and these mini movies or whatever, they're usually longer than your average theatrical movie.
Yeah.
So, some of these at the bottom might, they're definitely rewatchable. It's just you have a lot more other stuff if you got to watch, it takes up some time. Most of these are 3 hours long or something like that. But
yeah, for the most part, when you put it
all right. Well, coming in at number 3, getting into the goodies from 2002, it's Rose Red.
Man, we are on par.
Yeah, Rose Red, again, has to deal with these kind of like supernatural forces, this ghost. All these people kind of are brought together by fate at this big, huge mansion, and some weird shit starts happening to them. So, but again, a good cast.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Rose Red, like, surprised me when I saw it back in the day. I don't think I watched any of these movies, like, while they were actually airing on television. So, all of these are kind of after the fact, but.
Yeah, I think it's good. Fucking form words today. Jesus Christ. Yeah, as far as I remember, like, this was like everything like rented, and like maybe I caught it like on TV, like not as it happened, but you know what I mean, like the re-showing or something like that. But yeah.
Well, coming in at number 2 is from 1979, and it is Salem's Lot.
Yep, we are on par. I bet you our number 1's the same too.
Yeah, Salem's Lot is your classic vampire film. It's more, it's not more of a Bram Stoker's type of Dracula. It's more of like a Nosferatu type of Dracula. Yeah. Going into this small town, as most of these stories are, you know, it's basically a guy taking care, you know, it's like this guy lives up on the hill that nobody's seen, and, you know, people are speculating, oh, who is he, blah, 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 and the whole time it's the vampire or whatever. And, you know, some of the imagery in this movie is
fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it's really terrifying. The window scene where the kid comes and tries to get the other kid, you know, that scene always sticks out to me. But Salem's Lot is not only one of my favorite miniseries, but I definitely had it in my 150 favorite movies altogether, because even though these are either miniseries,
mini movies,
yeah, they're mini movies as well. I mean, they're television movies is what they are. They're just long television movies.
Yeah.
So coming in at number 1, of course, from 1990, it's It. And
it has to be.
Yeah, you really can't beat It. I know some people are saying, oh, well, you know, there's some things in the movie that's, you know, outdated or whatever. That's fine. I mean, this is for the time period. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it still doesn't change the fact that it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And with Stephen King, you get it's the story. I mean, he's a story writer. That's why most of his movies are story driven, rather than you know, the monster is kind of like the cherry on top in his movies, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to be the story, like what leads up to it. And yeah, It is definitely my favorite miniseries. And the other miniseries that I started to get into, I think they have a second, maybe even a third season, but I've only seen all of the first season, I think. And that was Castle Rock.
I've heard about it, but
well, that has Bill Skarsgård or whatever his name is.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, it has him in it.
Guy plays It in the new movies.
Yeah, so that one is a good one. There was a movie or a series called A Good Marriage that I seen that was really good. You know, some other ones. The actual remake to Salem's Lot that starred Rob Lowe in it. That was, I believe,
2004,
something like that. It was on like TNT. I actually really like that one. And of course, you have the Shining miniseries, which isn't as good as the movie, but it's entertaining to a certain point. So, you know, those are all the miniseries that I care to mention because those are all the ones that I've probably seen.
Yeah, the Shining miniseries was. It's kind of bittersweet. Like, I don't hate it, but like, it's like when you like go out and fuck a local whore after your girlfriend broke your heart type deal. Just really doesn't mean that much. Trying to get over your ex because of the bitter taste he had for the movie The Shining and how much he hated it and how he wanted to prove Stanley wrong and do it his way, and it's just, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, moving on to the movie part.
The movies, the meat. This one we probably will differ from.
Well, coming in at number 5 is from 1985, and it is Silver Bullet.
Nope.
Well, this movie has Corey Haim in it and Gary Busey and a bunch of other people, and this one is about a local werewolf terrorizing everybody, and nobody believes this little kid, played by Corey Haim, who is wheelchair bound, and shit gets happening. And I don't know. It's one of my favorite werewolf movies. It's a simple, takes place in a small town, and like I said, it's one of those really simple concepts that just from A to B to C always made sense to me and always entertained me. So it's not overly complicated, and I've always loved it.
I'll talk about it in a little bit. My number 5. This was really fucking hard. Because a lot of people are going to shit on my list, but this is my pecking order. It is what it is. I got Misery, 1990, at number 5.
Cool.
I mean, I don't know what more I can say about Misery. It's not that I don't consider this a bad movie. It's just it's 4 more Stephen King movies that I just enjoy watching better. Like I based mine off of how much I rewatch them and how many times I've seen them, so that this one kind of gets put down at the bottom, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's a goodie.
I mean, it's pretty much, your fan-obsessed movie. Of course, the incident happens, a leg break. I mean, if you've seen Misery, you've seen Misery. If you haven't seen Misery, well, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life, but go see Misery.
Yeah, Misery's awesome. Coming in at number 4 on my list is from 1976, and it is Carrie.
I did not put Carrie on my list.
Okay.
I forgot about Carrie.
Well, that's okay. I didn't put Misery on my list. I did not forget about Misery. But I got Carrie at number 4. Carrie's one of those movies like when you see it when you're younger, it's always, it sticks with you, but, I think that you appreciate it more as you get older in my experience. Like, Carrie was always like one of those classic movies, but it was one where it's like, but as I get older and I rewatch it, I mean, I absolutely love this movie, about the girl who's, she's going through all these different changes in her life. She's becoming a woman, so she's getting her period for the first time, going through puberty and all this stuff. And
going through hell.
And still learning how to deal with this this gift that she has, which according to her